No one to talk with, all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Hey, misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's just you I'm thinking of. Hey, misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Hey, misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't stay out late, don't care to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Hey, hello, good evening, people. To quote Belle La Lune, hello, people! Exclamation point. What's up, Dave in LA? What's up, Leslie in Manhattan? Hello, Neuro. Hello, Richard. Hello, Blue Lady. Hello, Mary in Chicago. Yes, did American democracy to die today, as Richard puts it? It wasn't a good day for democracy. Did it die? Maybe a sort of sort of a death rattle, but there's still a pulse. I'd say there's still a pulse. The breathing is thready. There's still a pulse, but we need some serious intervention. Yes, neuro, you got the reference. The thumbnail tonight is Hildy sticking her head through the banister bars, through the railing bars. I was thinking about the other incarceration happening today. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I don't generally support how much we lock people up in this country. We lock them up way too much for way too long, for lots of wrong reasons and wrong people, and it's not done fairly often, and there's a lot of racism and discrimination in the way it's done. However, we can probably all agree it's a good thing today. That guy deserves to be locked up for his contempt of Congress, among other things. This looks like a Guinness. It's not a Guinness. Let me tell you what I did yesterday. Last night or early this morning maybe, I poured some water, about this much water, into this pint glass and froze it. So there was basically an ice cube, like an ice plug at the bottom of this pint glass. And it was in the freezer. And then just before, I thought, you know what, I want a little caffeine for the show tonight. Because I was up at 3:55 a.m. this morning. That's when my alarm went off to get me up to go to my job this morning. I was up at 3:55. Drove up to White Plains. We shot these scenes all day. Came home. We worked. We had about a 12-hour day. Drove home. Thought I was going to be able to nap. Couldn't nap. I'm a little jazzed up from the job, I think. In any case, I thought I should have a little coffee. So I made a little instant coffee, which I'm a fan of, but I did it right on top of this plug of ice. So I put the instant coffee grounds on top of the ice, poured the hot water on there, and here's what I thought would happen. I thought that this ice cube, this big ice cube at the bottom, would sort of float up to the top, and then I'd have a nice iced coffee. But I just picked it up and discovered I just have a warm. I didn't have enough ice, so it's just a sort of a warm. No, it's not even warm. It's somewhere between warm and room temperature. I don't know if it's lukewarm or tepid. Which is warmer, lukewarm or tepid? Who knows? Any Earth scientists in the audience tonight who could tell me? Is tepid warmer than lukewarm? I think tepid is cooler. It's tepid. Yeah. Tepid. Oh, Neuro, thank you for the question. I don't know that I agree exactly with the analogy, but believe me, I know that this is a very serious situation we're in. We have to win this election. Our side has to win this election, absolutely, or it's the end of our country. I do agree. I do agree. On the other hand, I also agree. On the third hand, you know, this is a song about loyalty, ain't misbehaving. This is a song about someone who has just decided that they are going to be loyal. No one to talk with, all by myself, no one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Extreme loyalty. In fact, I don't even think he's with this person, come to think of it. He's longing for her, and he's remaining faithful to her in advance, in anticipation of having her as a romantic partner. I'm saying her, but it could be, you know, it could be whoever you want. I know for certain. I know for certain the one I love. I know who it is I love. I'm through with flirting. It's just you I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving. I'm saving my love for you. He's sort of bragging about his fidelity, which is not a great, I don't know. That's one of those things where you should probably just be faithful. I don't think bragging about it helps your case. In fact, bragging about it might make your motives and your behavior a little suspect. You know what I mean? Like, just relax, dude. If this is the person you love and you want him, you don't have to go singing about it. Well, I don't know. What do I know? I don't know a damn thing. Speaking of not knowing a damn thing, I did appreciate, in spite of my efforts to not listen to any of the coverage on this subject, I can't not listen to it because it's of such critical importance to our country. But I did watch Pac-Man just now, and he said, which I really liked, he said, look, and I said a less eloquent and shorter version of what he said today to someone. I said, we don't know. In fact, I said it on the show last night. We don't know what the right course is. We do not know. We just have our instincts. We have history. We can listen to various opinions, but we don't know. We know what the result better be in order to preserve this experiment in democracy for another 200 or 250 years. We know what the result of this election has to be if we want that outcome. But we don't know what path to take to that outcome. We just don't. You can say, we have to stick with this guy because X, Y, and Z, or I know we have to switch because of X, Y, and Z. But I don't know. I have my instinct, but I don't know. Lastly, I know you were probably referring directly to the SCOTUS business. I don't like saying SCOTUS because my friend Paul called it scrotus. It sounds too much like scrotum, SCOTUS, but it's overwhelmingly depressing what we're up against right now with his government. Wah, wah, wah. Again, neuro, that's not a bad idea. We don't know, so steady as she goes. Okay, possibly, but very possibly not. We don't know. That's my point. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Here's Neuro's interpretation of the lyrics of Ain't Misbehavin'. He's bragging to his lady about his fidelity to her. Okay, I like that. I'm with you. As he is talking to her in real time on the phone. And he's happy about it. Oh, well, that's really good. I like that idea that this whole thing happens on the phone. Is that actually what it is? Just me and my radio. Wait, he doesn't say anything about his telephone. Is there a telephone in here? I mean, I like the interpretation. I like the staging if this was staged as a musical. Maybe it was. I know we did have the musical on Broadway. The eponymous musical, Ain't Misbehavin'. In fact, I saw it when I was a kid. And we were supposed to see Nell Carter in Ain't Misbehavin'. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was about 1978. And I think Nell Carter was indisposed that evening. So I think the playbill had a little slip in it saying Nell Carter was not in the show that night. I don't know how we would look that up. But hey, what's up, Stephen Goldstein? Oh my God. Wow. Great to see you. Great to see your name pop up. I understand you can't stick around. It's all good. Ain't Misbehavin'. That's my friend Stephen Goldstein, who's an amazing singer. He's the one I mentioned on the show once, who sang that Lonely House, that Kurt Weill song from Street Scene. Just sang it so beautifully. So beautifully. It's such a moving song. Lonely House. Oh, and then I mentioned Jerry Hadley. You can watch him singing it on YouTube. It brings a tear to the heart to mangle an expression. At night, when everything is quiet, this old house seems to breathe a sigh. Somewhere I hear a lady snoring. Some hear, somehow I hear a cry. La da da dee da 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 da. Or on a distant telephone. There's your telephone. Wah 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 wah. Lonely house, lonely me. Funny, with so many neighbors, how lonely it can be. Oh, lonely house, lonely me. Oh my God, what a song. Kurt Weill. What a damn genius. Lonely House. I'm sorry, I don't have all the lyrics in my head. I was in 2 productions of it, and the most recent one was 24 years ago. So it's been a little while. 25 years ago. It was 25. It was 1999. So anyhow, please look up Lonely House and watch Jerry Hadley singing it in a tuxedo with an orchestra. It's a masterclass in how, sometimes if you see a singer in concert, it's less theatrical because you don't have the sets or the costumes. But watch what that guy does with an orchestra behind him and he's wearing a tuxedo. But you can just see the whole thing. He's such an incredible singing actor that you can just You feel the whole thing. You see the whole situation. He's just there in full 3D as a suffering human. Yeah. The tune is called Lonely House, and it's written by Kurt Weill, and it's from his opera, Street Scene, 1950, I believe. Street Scene is the name of the opera. It's a sort of New York opera. You know, Kurt Weill moved to America, like a lot of those Weimar artists, Jews leaving fascism. And so Kurt Weill wrote this. It's almost like a love song to New York and America. It's a Hell's Kitchen scene on a stoop on a very hot summer's day. Street Scene. I love that show. It's a great show. Lonely House. And maybe we can get Stephen Goldstein, who just popped on. Maybe he has a recording of him singing it. So incredible. Kathy says, I feel my soul dying today. I so fear for my grandchildren and their future. I hear you. I don't know what to say, Kathy. Other than 4 months until the election, the die is not cast, and you know the struggle must go on. Eventually, the tide will turn, and eventually, the majority on this court will flip the other way. Not in our lifetime, but it'll happen, unless the felon, rapist, and fraud gets in and then wreaks such havoc on the system that he installs himself for a 1,000-year Reich. And by himself, I mean him, his progeny, his ilk. Then we're effed. So, Neuro, I agree with you. We're going to vote. Absolutely going to vote. No question. Also, the other thing is people have been through horrible things. The history of our species includes a lot of chapters of cruelty and suffering. And there are always people striving to improve things, fighting to knock down walls and let the light in. So that will go on as long as there are humans. All right. Oh, I had two things I wanted to discuss. I had a list. First of all, I want to just encourage people not to use the following turn of phrase. Let's say you go to see a show and you're telling your friends about it. Don't say, I can't recommend it highly enough. I can't recommend it highly enough. Don't start your recommendation with I can't recommend it. It's a silly phrase in the English language. How's that restaurant? I can't recommend it highly enough. If you're recommending it, do not begin the recommendation with the words, I can't recommend it. I can't stress this enough. If you're recommending something, don't begin your sentence by saying, I can't recommend this. It makes no damn sense. I know it makes sense if you unwind the syntax and look at it. It makes sense. But intuitively, it just doesn't make sense. Oh, you just got back from Italy. How did you like your trip? I can't recommend it highly enough. Yeah, you know what? If you can recommend it, here I have a suggestion. Just recommend it on a scale of 1 to 10. Then you can recommend it exactly as high as you want to recommend it. Like, let's say you liked it a 7. Then say, I give it a 7. I give it a 7 out of 10. In fact, there's another phrase we could fix. Don't say I give it a 7 out of 10. Say, out of 10, I give it a 7. Because if you just say I give it a 7, we don't know what the scale is. It could be 7 out of 100. It could be 7 out of 7. So say out of 10, or you can say if you want, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 7. Do you see what I'm saying? Begin your sentences clearly. This is why Spanish is a superior language to English, because if you're saying something emphatically or enthusiastically, the sentence begins with an upside down exclamation point. And then after the enthusiastic utterance, it has another exclamation point, right side up. It's like a pair of American flags. There's the Alito flag at the beginning of the sentence, and then the regular flag at the end. You know where you stand with a Spanish sentence. If it's a question, it begins with an upside down question mark. Then you have the words, then you have a question mark. You know, there's none of these curveballs. I don't like these sentences with curveballs. I can't recommend them. I just can't. Vamos, exactly. Vamos, let's go. Exclamation point, let's go, exclamation point. It's beautiful. All right. So don't say I can't recommend it highly enough. It's obnoxious. It's too fancy schmancy. It's too convoluted. Just say I recommend it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Next, stop saying way, shape, or form. It doesn't mean anything. They are synonyms. A way, a shape, and a form. Way, shape, or form. Just pick one. I don't agree with him in any way, shape, or form. Just pick one of those three. Do not say all three of those. It's a cliche, and just toss it in the trash. Well, toss two of them in the trash. Whenever you're using it, pick one of the three. Leave it at that. Don't say way, shape, or form. It doesn't mean a damn thing. I can't recommend that expression. I can't recommend it. All right. I'm glad I'm getting this off my chest. Thank you, Donald. Hey, Donald, I met someone today from Sacramento, and I told them about you. I said, yeah, I have a Sacramento audience member who's a regular. Oh, yeah, a guy who was in the show with me today. Wonderful actor named Francois, who's one of the actors in the scenes that we shot today on this show, which is called The Savant. The Savant. It was very fun today. Fun gig. Okay. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's a great show. I can't recommend it highly enough. See, it's not a good phrase. I can't recommend that phrase. I can't recommend it in any way, shape, or form. Okay, here's another thing I wanted to say, and then I'm going to sing another song. In the scene today involved a food item. And the food item was in the script. And so the director, near the beginning of the scene, he said, okay, I'm going to, to create the right mood, I want some people to actually eat the thing. So I said, I want to eat the thing because, I was hungry. And so, but I knew, because I've been down this road before, exactly 10 years ago, in July of 2014, I shot the first episode that I was in of Boardwalk Empire. And there was a scene, which was a montage scene, in which it was a sort of like going to the mattresses type montage. And which is that reference from The Godfather when the feud is on and everybody has to hunker down. So as part of the hunkering down, I delivered a box of cannoli to our headquarters. And the shot was and you see me down at the end of a hallway in the distance. You see me walk in, close the door, and then as I'm exiting the screen, just shove a cannoli in my mouth. So we did a take, another take, another take, and then I realized, oh my God, I'm eating a lot of cannolis here. And they were really good, but at a certain point, you don't want more. So then I learned this trick in TV or movie production. If you're in that situation where you're doing multiple takes that involve consuming some food item, which is that, you know, you have a receptacle, a bucket, or a trash can nearby. So, you know, you take the bite, and then when they say cut, you just spit it out. So that's what I was doing by, you know, take number 12 with the cannoli. But this morning was more like 30 takes, and it was they were very accommodating, very nice. They got me a breakfast, a vegan breakfast burrito. And we figured it out. So I only had to take one little bite. I would receive a full burrito like the script called for, but then I would just take one little bite. Nevertheless, over 30 takes, I consumed my fair share, more than my fair share of breakfast burritos. There were beans, there was some sort of a fake chopped meat item, and then a vegan cheese of some kind. Was it Stanislavski? That's a good question. I think if it was Stanislavski, I should have actually swallowed the food. But I guess that's not true because I don't know. Anyway, Stanislavski, you could see, would involve the sense memory of, you wouldn't even need an actual burrito. You could conjure the feeling and the experience, both for yourself and for the audience, of consuming that vegan breakfast burrito without even with nothing but your imagination. You could conjure it and bring it into existence. Ecce homo, ecce burrito, ECCE burrito, ecce burrito. All right. That's what happens. You've never eaten a burrito? Mary, you must eat a burrito. Exclamation point. You must eat a burrito. Exclamation point. Burrito. I can't recommend a burrito highly enough. No, I can't. I give it a 9 out of 10. I give it a 10 out. You can get a vegan burrito in many places. I recommend it. I recommend it very highly. I think Jim Gaffigan had a very good bit about how Mexican food is all basically the same thing. It's this, this, and this wrapped in a tortilla. He goes through all of them and explains that they're all the same thing. It's pretty awesome. I can't recommend. Yeah, there it is. Oh, you find the look of a burrito repulsive. What? You know what? I'm not going to say what. I respect that. It's just a matter of taste. Taste, you know, it's a very personal thing. We can't dispute taste, as the Romans used to say. The ancient Romans. Here's something to think about. The ancient Romans didn't think of themselves as ancients. They just thought of themselves as Romans. Think about that for a moment. The ancient Romans were not ancient Romans. They were Romans. From our vantage point, they're the ancient Romans, which means, assuming the planet lasts long enough, we are the ancient Americans. We're the ancient Americans. Right now, you're an ancient American. I'm an ancient American. I'm also a future American to the ancient Romans. It's a little bit illogical or confusing or something. I'm going to sing this song just because I feel like it. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties. Purple mountains? Where are these purple mountains? Never seen them, but it sounds nice. Above the fruited plain, America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. All right, America. America, let's hope it survives. I'll be here at 9 always, every night at 9 always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair, like with today's decision. Always. That's when I'll be there, always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but always. Always here at 9. All right, I'm going to read one thing as a good night. This is from a book called Mindfulness on the Go. I opened up randomly to this. Secret Acts of Virtue. This can be a good antidote. I don't know, but I feel like what we're about to see, it's a good antidote to despair. Here we go. Here's the exercise. Each day for a week, engage in a secret act of virtue or kindness. Do something nice or needed for others, but do so anonymously. The act can be very simple, like washing someone else's dish that was left in the sink, picking up trash on the sidewalk, cleaning the bathroom sink when it's not your job, making an anonymous donation, or leaving a chocolate on a coworker's desk. There it is. I'm going to do that. Let's start that experiment right now, starting today or tomorrow. Let's say starting tomorrow, in case you don't have an opportunity. Let's say starting tomorrow. Secret acts of virtue. Each day for a week, engage in a secret act of virtue or kindness. Do something nice or needed for others, but do so anonymously. It's sort of what I was talking about at the beginning with Ain't Misbehavin. He's doing this good thing, but he's bragging about it a little bit. Do it anonymously. Let's do that for 7 days. Salubrious indeed. What a nice word. All right, everybody. Thank you. Let's do that. Let's just bring some virtue into the world. Let's do it, and things will turn out fine. Have a good night.